Hi, and welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Northborough. For those of you who haven't seen the show before, my name is Art Bergeron. I'm an attorney. That's my day job. I do nothing but elder law. I work at Myrick O'Connell, which actually is the biggest law firm outside of Boston, my office is in Westborough. This show originally was supposed to be about law, but it's not anymore. It's really about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've seen me do presentations, you know I talk about Frank and Mary and their kids, Peter, Paul, and Mary Jr., and their goal in life, which is to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if they live in Northborough, their goal is to do that, all of that in Northborough. So the point of the show is to have you know, as well as Frank and Mary, the people that you need to know about and the programs you need to know about so that you can just stay in your house and live in your house until you die. So I'm not from Northborough, I'm from far away Marlborough, so in order to help me figure out who to talk to, right, I lured my wonderful friend Anita Hagspiel, who has been extremely involved with the Friends of the Northborough Seniors and a bunch of other stuff for like a long time. And I said, can we do this show together? And of course she said yes, and said that she'd find all these interesting people, which she has done yet again. And so Anita, who do we have today?
We have a very wonderful person, Ruth Anderson, and Ruth was the treasurer for many years with the Friends Board, and in fact mentored me when I came on the board, which was wonderful. We've become
from
very
back
good
when you
friends.
were a kid, you know. Yeah, and she suckered you in. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
when Ruth came off the board,
Yeah.
she has continued to chair our fabulous jewelry cart at the Senior Center, which is a fundraiser, a significant fundraiser.
Which is the thing, and we're going to talk a lot about the jewelry cart. But now, once again, I'm the outlander, right? I come from a faraway place. So how did you end up getting involved in that? And are you a Northborough person originally, or an outlander? Did you, did you make your kids Northborough residents by raising them? How did you get here?
Well, let's see. Almost 50 years ago, we moved to Northborough.
Not yesterday.
Yeah,
50
not
years
yesterday.
ago.
No, I was.
And doesn't it seem like the blink of an eye?
It does, and it was a little sleepy town. And when people would say Northborough, I'd say west of Boston, and they think it was in the Berkshires.
In the Berkshires, yeah.
And
should have said west of
no, yeah,
Marlborough.
nobody knew
Exploded.
where the heck it was. But I'd say between Framingham and Worcester, and then they'd sort of know.
They'd sort of know.
But I'm originally from New York.
Yeah.
I brought up in Brooklyn, New York, and so this.
Wow, no
yeah.
accent.
No, well, yeah, I
Wow,
think so.
she's really gone native. This is great, yeah.
Anyway, when I moved up here, it felt really right. I always liked small towns. I went to a very small college, and I loved it, and I didn't really love living in a big city, so Northborough has been our home for 50 years, and our kids were very young when we moved here. And
so you raised
love it.
the
And
kids
yeah.
here, and you never left. Now, did they
That's
go
right.
locally? Did they go to the schools
they
locally?
did. My daughter, who's the younger one, went to Algonquin. My son started at Algonquin, ended up at a private school in Sudbury, but
And are
went
any
through.
of them around still?
Yeah, they
or
are. They are. My daughter and son-in-law live in Northborough. My son lives in Mansfield, a little south of here.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
very lucky to have them around.
So very local. So they've been
Yeah.
gone for a while, and somehow you ended up getting involved with the seniors.
Senior Center.
How
Well, it's a
did
funny
that-
story,
how did that
but
happen?
when my husband Jerry retired, for the first year or so, he was just puttering around, getting our finances in order, doing all that stuff. And there was an investment club at the old Senior Center, and he loves that sort of thing. So I said, you might want to check that out. Well, he went, and he was there for a couple of months, and before I knew it, he was the president of the investment club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was at the old seniors,
The old
which I
Senior
never
Center.
saw.
Yeah, it was very small and very dark and very
not
adequate.
a welcoming.
No, not really, not really. Anyway, so he did that, and then he met some guys that were trying to get a new senior center, and he got involved in that, and then he went on the Council on Aging, and then the Council on Aging president called and said, would I be the treasurer of the Friends? And I said, okay. And anyway, this is the evolution.
And then it's it was a family operation.
Yeah, it was.
So you were like,
yes.
you were both active.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
we were both very busy, really trying to get this new senior center, which met a lot of resistance and was voted down a couple of times before the town decided to fund it.
I didn't know the backstory.
Yeah.
Now, were you involved in that also?
No, I was still working.
You were still, yeah.
No, it was quite a backstory.
But I did donate to it. And we heard about it with
Yeah.
all the news around town.
Yeah.
'Cause
But I was working.
That was a big deal.
Oh, it was
I
a
remember-
huge
yeah,
deal.
'cause
People-
we've had Kelly here on many
Oh,
times.
she's wonderful.
Because she,
Yeah.
right, she was
Yeah.
really, right.
Yeah.
And
She's
Anyway,
fabulous.
yeah.
She's the rock.
She is.
Really
just wonderful.
Yeah.
just
Well, she
wonderful.
came when we
We
still
can talk
had.
about her now because
Yeah.
she's not on.
We still had the old senior center, but then she moved with us to the new one,
Right.
and she's been wonderful. But anyway, Jerry was very involved in the building. We were all involved in, trying to get it passed so that we could have a senior. It actually won by 6 votes. There were
Six
enough
votes at
people.
town meeting?
Yeah. Yep.
And then did it end up getting voted? Did it have to get voted also at
It
the,
had-
at,
it had-
at a,
yeah.
at a election type vote?
Yeah.
Was this an override?
Yeah, I think it did, yeah.
Yes, it
And-
did.
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, we finally got it by 6 votes. They had a recount, and then we won by, I think, 8 votes. And we were so excited. And
Because
then,
it's
of
hard,
course,
because if
yeah.
you don't have it, it's like, how do you understand what you're missing if you don't have it yet?
That's right.
And
That's right.
happened
That's
in
right.
so many
Everybody said
towns.
nobody will go, and then they didn't like the location.
Right, nobody will go.
No one will go
It's
now.
outside of town,
Yeah,
right? It's far
exactly.
away.
Went through all that.
Right.
And Jerry, my husband, again, was on the building committee, so, I feel like we have ownership of it in a small way. And
So now I'm just going to
Yeah.
mention as an outlander, that was one of the senior centers that we actually used as the model when we were doing the one in Marlborough.
Marlborough.
And kind of similar, kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was a lot of opposite. Then really the mayor really drove it.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah, well-
But the level of activity that you're seeing, it's just unbelievable.
It's
it is.
At all times, all
It's
the
so
time.
busy and so
all the
exciting
time.
there.
Yeah.
And the notion, and I'm just going to mention, so one other thing about Kelly, the discipline of growing these programs internally so that they really, a lot of that stuff is running without town money.
That's right. Most of it is running without town money.
And,
There
and
are
what
a
you
lot of
guys
volunteers.
did, and in terms of the money, just the amount, your ability to finance originally the person that was kind of doing the cafe, that
That's
great
right, the
cafe,
bistro.
and now it's grown so much. I think but once again, you're doing the second,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's something that I've actually brought to other senior centers, and I said, that's the best role. Not the best, a great role for the Friends to play,
Absolutely.
because you can figure out the things you really want to do, and you can provide the at-risk money.
That's
you
right.
can take the
That's
shot,
right. That's right.
so that people can see, ooh, this is really good, and then all of a sudden the money,
Yeah.
which is great.
And
It's a
now
great
they're
model.
self-sufficient. Both of those positions are self-sufficient, so the Friends no longer have to fund those. That they actually are making enough money to cover their,
Which is unbelievable.
which is really,
It really
amazing.
is.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
So yeah, so it's very satisfying when I go up there and I see all the cars in the parking lot and people in there having a good time, and myself too. I've taken art classes and in a memoir group and gone to different programs, and it's a fun place.
And the food's good.
And the food's excellent.
food is
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the bottom line,
Yeah.
right? As you get older,
Yep.
you're
Food is
not
very
looking
good.
for fame and fortune, but you want the food to be
Yeah,
good. You want to
yeah.
get a good night's
Exactly,
sleep.
exactly.
You want to kind of have fun.
And people
So-
love it. They love getting together on Tuesday night and just with their
Yes.
neighbors
Yeah.
and
Well,
old
and
neighbors.
It's true.
Yeah.
They have groups of people that go every Wednesday night.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
Yeah.
just.
I didn't know it was open at
friends
night.
that-
No,
I
no,
know it was-
Tuesday
Just
night.
Tuesday
Tuesday
night.
night.
Sorry,
Yeah, every
sorry, yeah,
Tuesday night.
Tuesday
Mhm.
night.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really
It's-
great.
Yeah, yeah. And we have a wonderful dinner and often entertainment and, some neat things going on.
That's terrific.
Yeah. Very
But
active.
I digress. So that's kind of, so that I was curious about backstory.
Yeah.
But you told me you wanted her to come on because of this amazing thing that she does.
Well, not
Can we
only
just-
was
can
she
we
an
just talk about
excellent
that a little bit?
treasurer
Yeah.
and mentored me as I came on the board in 2012, she, as she
And
got
how
off.
did how did she reel you in again? Was there?
Actually, I was reeled in by another board member. And so then, they were thinking that would be
Yeah.
a good position for me, along with recruiting or fundraising.
Yeah.
And so as a result, Ruth and I we went to lunch and she was telling me the ropes, and I think you were on the board for a few years, and
Yeah.
then when she came off the board, she still maintained this fabulous jewelry cart that we have at the
Yeah.
senior center.
Well, I'm in and out of there a lot, and I love jewelry. So.
And how did you come up with this idea? Or was it there and then you grew it?
So the jewelry cart actually was donated by Adrian Cost and her husband.
Right.
Adrian is our Council on Aging chairperson,
Yeah.
and she donated the cart. And then I'm not sure
Then it's actually
when
a
it was
cart.
that you started.
Yeah.
Well, even at the
helping.
old senior center, we had a table for jewelry and things that people donated, but it was very, unattractive, and if you didn't know it was there, you might not ever find it. So Adrian had this idea that we should have a cart and something really attractive, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful wooden cart with 2 levels.
It's really a cart.
It's a
actually
cart,
like
yes,
a, like
yes.
an old push cart?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it like one of those things like from
Yes,
that you
like
see in
at
Boston,
Quincy
at Quincy
Market.
Market?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's like a
yeah.
marquee type
Yeah,
of thing, I
yeah.
would say.
Oh, that's
And
great.
it has
Yeah.
wheels, and it's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
It's
So-
very cute.
Yeah. So we decided we would have mostly jewelry and some other small items, wallets and scarves and small things, but mostly jewelry. And it just took off.
And it just took off. So how do you find all of this stuff?
The jewelry. Mostly it's donated.
Yeah.
We put requests into the
Northborough
Northborough
Times.
Times, and people donate whatever they, are finished with, or their mother's jewelry, or their grandmother's jewelry,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
everybody's got more jewelry than they need.
Yeah.
And if it's
And it's at all times of the year?
it's all times of the
it's not
year.
at a particular time?
Yeah. And Christmas time we especially, some special Christmas jewelry.
Yeah.
And we advertise it in the Northborough Times and
To get jewelry?
to get jewelry, and also that we have a cart.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
so you also advertise in order
Yeah.
to sell
To
it
check
too.
it out.
And I've heard rumors that you actually are kind of the secret buyer to this program. Could you just kind of talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, a friend of mine, my friend Shirley Mollenhauer, and I love yard sales. So we would go yard sailing most Saturdays in the spring and summer. And if people had jewelry, and we would buy it if it was inexpensive and we could make some money on it.
Yeah,
And
because you
usually,
can kind of look, because you like jewelry, so
yeah,
you know what's going to sell.
And we always look, because we both love jewelry. And if it was more than what we would make money on, then we would say thank you very much. And then often when we told people what we were doing, they would give it to us. And often at the end, if we got to a yard sale at the end and they had stuff left over, they would say, can I donate this? And
Just
we'd say
take it.
absolutely. So people are very, very generous when you tell them what it's for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's a good way to promote the senior center, so we would always talk that up
That's
too.
terrific.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, do you go beyond to yard sales beyond Northborough? So
Oh yeah, Shrewsbury, Marlborough, we're locally,
Right.
but yeah,
Right,
yeah.
because I don't know any place else that does this, that
Yeah.
really has
Yeah.
that's concentrating on jewelry
Yeah,
kind of as a
yeah.
specific.
And we go to
item.
church fairs, we go to
Yeah.
thrift shops now, all these places that have inexpensive jewelry. And if it's anything more valuable, every now and then we get a piece of gold and frequently silver.
Oh, you've told me you even have a consultant that values. some of
Yes,
this.
I have
Who-
my
who
husband.
is that?
Well, I have my husband first. He actually enjoys it. He'll sit there watching television with a jeweler's loop, and he'll check if we think it's silver.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
look for this, 928 or whatever,
Yeah.
Sorley. And if we're still not sure, I'd take it down to Steve Longvall on Main Street at Elegant Antiques.
At Elegant Antiques?
Yeah, and Steve, really knows you. He can even test it with an acid, so that if
Yeah.
we can't find a sign, he will let us know. And if it's gold, usually I just give it to him and we get the money, because we can't charge enough for the gold, so we get the money just for
Oh,
the
I see.
value of the gold.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. And he
yeah.
just buys it.
And he just buys it,
from
and
you.
yeah.
So
So
that's
that's
good.
another whole facet of this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, he's been great too, really helpful. And sometimes when I'm in there, he'll give me some jewelry that just is costume jewelry that he doesn't need or can't make any money on.
This is great. So are there special like around the holidays, right? Are there special times where you kind of are really pushing this?
We do really well around Christmas,
Yes, well, we
especially,
have a country store fair in
Right,
November. It's
right.
usually the Saturday before.
The country store fair. What's
It's all through the senior center on a Saturday, and we have
Oh,
the jewelry cart.
Yeah.
We have a bake sale. Vicky, our chef, does a wonderful lunch. We have crafters, the knitters.
Right. Grandma's
and we have
Attic.
Grandma's Attic, which is like a yard sale.
Yeah.
And people donate all this
all the stuff to
wonderful
that.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's
Who
great.
thought of that?
Oh, that's been going, I think, since the old.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes?
right.
That's been
'Cause
happening
that's a great
every
idea,
year. It's
too.
a big
But it's a really,
fundraiser.
yes, it's big and a really nice public fairs event. Very nice. People love
It
it.
really, they wait in line to get in the door.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really
It's-
amazing.
yeah.
That's great.
We've got
That's
a good
great.
reputation.
We do.
And in terms of your jewelry card, so how much do you make? How much does the
Well,
jewelry card earn for the?
Yes. Anita just
And
told
it
me.
just so happens the old
Just so
treasurer
happens.
has the real numbers here.
I looked up what we brought in for 2018, and it was $3,058 on jewelry that's donated.
On jewelry that's-
Or what
So
Ruth finds.
That's 100% return.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
100%
mostly it
return.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's, 3,000, about, or it averages sometimes 300 and more a month, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right. And you were
which is-
mentioning, like, to compare that to the fundraisers that you do.
Yeah, so our fundraisers, we consider a good fundraiser. And these are ones like when we've had the fashion show or the God Box, which was a wonderful one-woman act play. Those brought in about $3,000. And so this is like a large fundraiser.
So it's the equivalent of an entire fundraiser.
Now our annual pledge, that's our biggest fundraiser when we send out letters
Yeah,
at the
people-
beginning of December. And then the country store fair brings in between $4,000 and $5,000.
So this is like a big earner.
It is a big earner.
So since we're advertising for the car, so what do you need? You know, if you were trying to do other stuff that you can't do right now, would you need more volunteers? Do you need more jewelry? What if anything do you need?
We could always use jewelry, always. I usually just take it home and sit, watching television at night and mark it.
Yeah.
So I always have a backlog. Anita and I just cleaned it out and resorted it so that we can get, refill easily.
Yeah.
We could certainly use a volunteer or two if they wanted to help out with it.
Does
I could train them.
that cart, is it always open?
Always,
basically?
Yes.
Right?
yes.
So someone at the desk is always, they'll come up and they'll say, I'd like to buy this piece of jewelry, it's marked.
Yeah.
I get it.
And
I get it.
And they
And
take
they-
the money, and then, I don't know, every 2 weeks I might check to see how much. Yesterday I got $160 out of the bucket, just, for
It's
the
unbelievable.
first couple of weeks of May. So
That's
yeah,
great. So
yeah.
and so you don't need a volunteer to staff it like during the
No,
day.
no, we
because
don't.
Because it's all
Right.
it's like self-serve.
It's all out there, and we trust that people aren't
Right.
taking anything, and if
Right.
they are, it isn't anything. And
Right.
the
and
silver.
you've already priced everything.
We've already
right?
priced
And no one's
everything.
haggling. No. That's the number.
No,
Right.
they never do.
it's
Yeah.
really,
Well, because you priced it right.
Yeah, we try to price it
yes,
fairly.
it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
reasonable. And we even have a woman that makes like the beaded dangle
Yep.
jewelry.
Yeah.
And so she's donated a lot of that. We had one woman
Oh,
who's
so that's just new stuff that she just donates.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
donates
buys
that.
beads, and she
Yeah.
makes beautiful white, what
She
they
does
call
it as a
wire
craft.
I
earrings.
see.
Yeah, and they're lovely, and so we always have lots and lots of those.
And then the other thing that happened this year, which we were just really amazed, a woman whose mother had passed away, and the mother was a jewelry maker, brought in these big cases of all the equipment
Makings
or the
of jewelry.
making for the jewelry.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we sold things from that as well.
Right.
Oh, some of the stuff that was actually used to make
Yes.
the
Right.
jewelry. I was going to say
Yeah.
because you actually had it on display.
Right.
Because once again, I suppose once people realize that it's there.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever get that? That's a very interesting point in terms of the stock that you get. Do you ever get stuff from an estate?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This was my mother's or my grandmother's jewelry,
Right.
and I was going through her stuff, and she would love it to come here. And
Right.
yeah.
Because I would think if people were aware of that,
Yeah.
right, that would be because that happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah.
the time, where
Yeah.
you've got stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
and people will come
They
to
don't-
me and say, well, where are we going to sell this? I say,
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't even think
Yeah.
about it isn't like tremendously valuable.
Yeah. Just
There were a few
donate it
items,
to a local. Yeah.
But
pick
if you
out the
donate
best.
it someplace, then you're really recycling it, and
Right.
it's giving value to the senior center.
Exactly. Recycling is a great way
Yeah,
of saying it.
yeah.
And a lot of people buy things for gifts.
Yeah.
I noticed that at Christmas time.
Hugely, especially, we do have some sterling, and we keep that on the counter near the front desk so
Yeah.
people, the staff can keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And that's when we sell a lot of silver, because you can buy a nice silver gift for very, very little
For
money.
fairly little.
Yeah, very little.
Do you
so.
end up increasing the stock like at the holidays? Or it's
We
just
try
more-
to.
Yeah.
We try
Yes.
to. But we have a lot of. Well, we just saw how much jewelry
Yes,
we
we have a lot.
because we were sort of
I was going to say,
organizing
you
it.
must also have some in like storage. Is there a back office?
Oh
here?
yeah,
Is there
yeah, yeah. That's what we were
have,
working on.
big
You have
Tupperware
the-
type of
The
containers that are
discount jewelry
marked now.
mart, right? Which is like,
Yeah.
we're kind of like everything
We
else
haven't
is.
done that, but we probably will think about having some sales every now and
Yeah.
then, just putting certain pieces in a basket for a certain price. But we haven't done that yet. But yeah.
Now, is this like located next to the gift shop? Like
When
at
when you walk in the front door, it's
Yeah.
right to the left before you go into the bistro.
Yeah.
And then to the right is our
Is the desk.
information and reception area.
Yeah.
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 So it's a good location for it,
Yeah.
and people can walk right around it. And also, the Council on Aging Chair, Adrian, has yarns.
Oh, I was
Skeins
gonna
of
say,
yarn
yes,
that she sells
yes.
too, so that also brings in money. And
A lot
that's
of-
kind of separate,
Yeah.
but near the cart.
It's right in front of the cart, so that money goes in with, actually,
Yes.
that money goes in with the cart money.
Yes, it
So,
does.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't been to the senior center, right, and because you're like, oh, it's just these old people, and it's bingo, and it's all this, I'm not, or classic,
Yeah.
I'm too young
I'm
to
too
go to
young
the
for
senior
that,
center.
yes.
So, first of all, look at these people, right? So, wouldn't you like to just kind of bump into them at the senior center? Second, right, so here's your excuse to go, right?
Right.
You got
go shopping.
You're going shopping. Probably you're getting a great price,
Right.
And all the money is going right to a tremendous cause, right?
So and you can have lunch.
And you
That's
can
right.
have lunch.
Monday through Thursday, you could go shopping and you could have
And
lunch.
you can have lunch, and they say that the food is good. I still haven't been,
Oh.
right?
Oh,
But
it's
this
delicious.
is your,
Food
this
is
is your time.
fabulous.
And if you don't like the food, you can tell them. You call, don't call me.
That's right.
You call them and tell them that you don't like the food. And you
And
can
it's
get it.
very reasonable
And
too.
and it's
The
very
cost
reasonable.
of the
Yeah.
And it's
meals.
very reasonable, and you can kind of dress up for it. You can wear your
Yeah,
jewelry,
yeah.
right? And you can
That's
kind of
right,
like
that's
and
right. You
have a
have a-
great time. This is terrific.
It's
This is
wonderful.
terrific. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, I have to ask. So, are you on a permanent salary here, or are you
Yeah.
you have to retire? Please, you're staying.
Well, the thing is, I get first dibs on the jewelry.
you
so,
get first
yeah.
dibs on the jewelry.
So
That's
if I
great.
see something
That's
I
right.
like, you
That's
know,
right. That's
yeah,
right.
I'll buy
you
it.
can kind of at a discount, right?
yeah,
At a
exactly.
discount. That's great. So you may see her right at the shop, right? Or you may see my friend Anita. right?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We're there a lot.
We're there a lot. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this, Anita. As
Our
usual,
pleasure.
This is
Our
this is just terrific. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the next installment of Frank and Mary in Northborough.